All right. We've come to the last session of our paper in cognitive training, and we are going to practice with case studies. Okay. So, oh my God, who ate up the E in my PPT? I only must have eaten it up. Okay. So, we are going to talk about case studies and how we are going to handle them. Now, all of us know that at a cerebral level, when you are teaching cognitive methodologies, case study comes tops in them. Case study is one of the best ways in which you can engage um, every part in terms of simulation, in terms of example, in terms of a similar situation, in terms of multiple solutions. All these can be seen from the case study point of view. Case studies have a lot of good points to offer, but there is always a flip side, and there is always some ways in which case studies are limited for their utility. One is that it may not create a situation which is unique. It may be a situation which is known. It may have a very predictable outcome. It may not encourage divergent thinking. It may stop people from actually making explorations other than the obvious answers, right? So I will, before we come to the actual case studies, I'll be splitting the entire class into teams, and we will be discussing each case study as a team and then coming out into the main room and presenting it, right? So before doing that, I would like a touch point on what are case studies. I'm sure in methodologies you would have already studied what is case studies, but for my purpose to get us all on the same page, I'd like to explain what are case studies. So can I have the first slide? They are the closest that come to the real life scenarios, and they encourage a lot of critical thinking. So wherever you want to do training in critical thinking, case studies come in extremely handy. Like I told you last time that when I was teaching industrial relations, I took Bhopal gas tragedy. Now, not only is it relatable, it is Indian in nature. And when we did our MBA, we struggled with case studies because none of the case studies were Indian. Most of the case studies used to be Gillette and Toys R Us and all these American companies because they are the ones who knew how to create a case study. And because we did not have any Indian case studies, we struggled because the context was so different. So if you can get a case study which is contextual in nature, which bridges the gap between what you're teaching and what they need to learn, then a case study works beautifully. And if you can teach them how to do the decision making, it works out really well. And in today's time and age, I've always respected the magazine business world, because in every business world magazine, in every what do you say, copy of it, you will find one case study which is there on the Indian company. And now you have a lot of podcasters who do, case studies very particular to like finance or marketing or, industrial relations or HR. So please explore the gamut of case studies which are available. And if you feel some of them are lacking, then you can create some of your own. You can create your own case study, keeping in mind the learning that you wish to. But it's not easy to create a case study because it needs to check out on so many parameters. But if you're game to do it, you're from the research field, fantastic. Create your own case study. Next slide, please. Um, Write case study relevant to the learner's roles. It should be challenging, but it should be solvable. It should reflect something that is very current, and it can be real from actual events, or it can be fictionalized. I guess you could create your own case study, or you could take something which is easily available. Can I have the next one? Um, what are we actually what concept are we trying to get across? Let's try to understand that first. So whether it's leadership, ethical decision making, conflict resolution, just given a few um, examples over here. Once you set your objective clearly, then picking out your case study should be easier, right? So as an academician, as a trainer, as a HR executive, you should be very careful with the case studies that you pick out, right? Next slide. Never give a case study in isolation. Please give the background to it, set the expectations, analyze, discuss. This is what I am doing right now. I am briefing the participants so we all come onto the same page. Obviously, I will expect the outcomes of every case study to be from the 9 earlier sessions that we have studied, right? So obviously, this is like a culmination of the cumulative knowledge that we have learned in the last 9 sessions, right? Next slide, please. This is a pointer to all of us where different ways in which you can use the formats. What we are going to do, small groups and breakout sessions, that's what we're going to do. Or you could do it role play based, or you can have debrief sessions after a solution presentation. So debrief we will definitely have, maybe not that much in detail, but we will definitely have a debrief session. Next one. What the case study should do is it should guide them in the right direction. Let us not lecture them. And you should ask open-ended questions whenever you are given a presentation so that you encourage them to think for themselves. Please remember, a lot of our learning under cognitive training is training people to think for themselves. Independent thinking, critical thinking, we've taught you all the ways in which it can be done. So to utilize all those ways, we are doing the case studies right now, right? Next one. Gurvinder, how should I share this? I want 5 teams of whoever is present over here, 34 of us, 2 of us out. So 32 people over here. I would like 5 teams, discussion for 20 minutes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those case studies are there. How should we give it to them, Gurvinder?
I'll post on the chat or I'll post in the link they can access from there. We can create the
Okay.
groups right now, and then you
Huh.
can just say like case one, group one. I'll do
Yes.
that.
Ma'am,
Yes. Group one, case one.
these studies are the same which are there in the manual.
I have specifically taken them from the manual, yes.
There are 6 case studies, I believe.
I'll take 5 out of that,
Okay, okay.
right? Because the time constraint is also there, na? Right? So he will be sharing what I've put up in my PPT. I've taken them from the study material so that it is easier for you to relate to it. But I would like, if you did not use the study material, to look up the answers for it. Please have a good discussion and try to come up with as many suggestions, options that you can, because always remember there are many ways in which solution can be found and multiple solutions can be found. So team one, case one, two, three, four, five, team five, case five, right?
Now, how much time?
20 minutes.
Okay.
नीता क्लासमध्ये नंतर करते क्लासमध्ये नंतर करते या
So the PPT is in the link. The OneDrive link where you download all the material.
हम्म All right.
It's not
So now
20,
everybody's back.
not even 20 minutes there.
20 minutes not enough?
Not enough, ma'am.
Not enough. Yeah. Now you know how your students and your participants must be feeling.
Right.
है ना?
We were actually discussing what to be done, and then 5
मैम
minutes gone
20
already.
मिनट्स की डिलीवरेबल्स के लिए भी 2 घंटे का माइंड स्टॉर्मिंग सेशन चाहिए.
I agree. I agree. 20 minutes is very less time to discuss something and have everybody's opinion and then to collate all that and then condense it and give it in a presentation. But let's see what we got over here. Team one,
Yeah.
who's going? And please remember, whoever is giving us the analysis, your understanding of the case study, others in the team, if you feel something got left out, please chime in. No problem at all. Right? The
Thank you so
presentation
much.
is open to everybody. No issue at all. Right? Yes. So who's going from team one?
Subhashish, you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Subhashish is here. Yes.
Just 1 minute. I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
just joined.
Done.
मैम एक और सेशन ले लीजिए ना जिसमें सिर्फ ऐसी केस स्टडी दीजिए हर एक मॉड्यूल पर. वी
Oh.
एक्चुअली इट्स वेरी ब्रश अप थिंग एक्चुअली.
Uh,
Ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am.
मैडम यू आर ऑन म्यूट.
निवेदिता मैम आप म्यूट पर हैं.
Sorry, that was my mistake. Sorry. Right. So
Bhavna, can
I
you pull the
understand.
PPT?
Sorry.
Bhavna, can you pull the PPT? What you have made? Anything?
Bhavna,
There
you're
is
on
no-
mute. Do you have a PPT?
I just
Anything?
have one slide there.
That will
Bana
do.
do.
Bhavna.
Just the picture is there. No content is there actually.
It's okay. Whatever you have made.
It will motivate Subhashish to give a great presentation. Go ahead.
Maybe.
Give me a minute.
डेफिनेटली भावना put it up.
Mr.
सॉरी आई
Paul
मस्ट
has
कॉम्प्लीमेंट पॉल जी कि वो संडे टू बी मॉर्निंग में पूरे सूटेड बूटेड ऐसे लड़ रहे हैं जैसे वो एक्चुअली प्रेजेंटेशन देने बैठे हुए
मैम
हैं.
वो अभी
Same
पहन
I
के
was
आए हैं.
thinking. हाँ,
Uh,
same
he
I was
just
thinking
changed.
because
He
हाँ
just
अभी
changed.
morning में तो he was wearing something like different.
I was about to say, sir, t-shirt से एक से कैसे हो गया?
Now I'm going to training session. It's
सुबह
scheduled
से
for 1:45.
क्या
So
ग्रुप तो हमने देख लिया अभी तक सुबह से.
Yes. All right. Subhashish, go ahead.
yeah. So ma'am, what we understand from the case study कि there is a high turnover in the call center.
Okay.
People are leaving, and at the same time, due to the high turnover, there is a low retention of the knowledge because the knowledge
Okay.
transfer was not happening properly from the people who are there in the system and the people who are leaving. Now, as a trainer, what will be my goal in this case, or as a group, what are our goal is to minimize the intrinsic load. Now, we need to understand ki, what is the training module that have been given to the team before, what are those contents, audio, video, everything we need to, as a trainer, need to understand. And we need
Correct.
to see what is the intrinsic load given to those trainers.
Very
And then,
good.
as a trainer, I need to understand ki, which part can be avoided and which part can be kept. Then I need to go to the next part of the cognitive load theory, which calls about the extrinsic load. And in the extrinsic load, I need to check what is the atmosphere of the call center, how many distractions are there, if there is so many culture, flowcharts are there, what is the temperature, what is the surroundings, how people are working, what is their lunch, what is their breakfast, everything. I need to understand ki, what is the external load on the trainers and how we can make it better for their working atmosphere to group work, and at the same time what kind of feedback and support they are getting during their job. And then I need to understand ki how I can increase the German load. And for this, our group has the suggestion that we will make small videos, maybe for 1 to 2 minutes, that will actually give the actual scenario in a safe atmosphere, and they can practice that. Second, we'll start
प्रेजेंट करना है मैंने.
we'll start with the employee of the month scenario, where the people with the highest CSAT will be given award of employee of the month, and we'll also relate it with the performance management system so that it can be put in the PMS also. Moreover, we also need to see which are the questions actually or scenarios leading to the low ISAT. If we can distinguish those scenarios specifically, so our German load will be more on those scenarios, and maybe at the end of the day, the overall outcome can be better from the stakeholder point of view. This is what our team has found out.
Okay.
And
I
ma'am,
agree with
there's
all this.
additional thing,
Absolutely.
the training the team has to take care of the stress management also for the employees.
Yes, yes.
He talked about the extrinsic load also, yes. So he wants to check out on whether the stress is coming from something other than the learning, right? So Bashish,
Yes,
I think
yes.
that was
Yes,
a
ma'am. Yeah.
good understanding of it, whether training का load आ रहा है या circumstances का load आ रहा है. What is happening,
Yes.
right?
That,
So even before doing chunking, first find out where the load is coming from, and
yes.
then you can do the chunking, and then visuals below, small videos below. You could do that. I think excellent. Anybody from the team one wanting to add anything? Like
Partho sir,
Bhavna
we have
added,
there.
anything else? Anybody wanting to add?
We have Partho sir, we have iPad, we have Alu Arjun.
Yes,
And
yes.
Subhash also.
Yeah, Subhashish also already mentioned all those things that are covered there.
All
I
right.
think.
Yes. So I think we have a good presentation from team one. And one trick I will tell you, the more often you articulate the concepts, the easier it will become for you to remember them and say them aloud. This is a trick that I use for people who are learning vocabulary in English. That when you say it aloud, you not only use your mind and your mouth connection, but you use your eyes to read it and you use your ears to hear it. So all your faculties get involved in that. And it's a better way to understand concepts. So, whether it is chunking, visual aids, infographics, extrinsic circumstance, all this should be constantly articulated. Don't think that you read the concept and you will remember it. Articulate करो उसको, loudly बोलो. If you remember, पहले ज़माने में पढ़ा करते थे everything while studying, right? So you read it aloud. Reason being, all your faculties get involved in that, right? So that's a trick that is there
Earlier
to.
school time में teachers used to tell us to read the chapter
Yes,
before
yes,
explaining it.
absolutely. And it makes a lot of sense. Even if, पहले remember ऐसा उंगली रख के पढ़ते थे हम लोग.
Yes, scale
तो
रख के
उंगली,
मैम कि ऊपर के नीचे लाइन है, you just with the
yeah,
scales. फिर
because
बहुत
what
छोटा
happens,
छोटा लिखा होता था उस टाइम
हाँ,
पे.
because many times no hands को कोई काम नहीं रहता, so they become fidgety. तो वो ऐसे करने से हाथ भी busy हो जाते हैं. So it becomes a kinesthetic activity also. So whatever our
It
teachers did,
increase our concentration, ma'am.
concentration improve हो जाता है, focus थोड़ा बढ़ जाता है. So just a tip for all case studies. This is something which because many concepts वो फटाक से retrieve नहीं होते. Like I said, we have selective attention, we have selective retention and selective retrieval. To teach yourself retrieval, because वो exam में retrieval चाहिए ना अपने को, you should be able to retrieve that. So teach yourself to retrieve. In fact, I am my subject matter for that. I teach myself retrieval, whether it's a joke or a concept or a book or something that I want to retrieve. I do it by touching it every now and then, right? So जो कुछ भी मेरे concepts है which I want to bring forward, I articulate them every now and then to either, and it's not necessary that professional काम professional group में ही करो, नहीं. Keep practicing anyway. My family is the worst victim of all this because unnecessarily they have to listen to all my fundamentals. But when I do that, I feel I'm doing mini teaching and remembrance and retrieval becomes a little faster. So my family actually struggles through a lot of those things. They are mini economists, mini marketers, mini advertisers. सब कुछ उनके ऊपर try करते हो रहा है. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that big round of applause for everybody from Team 1. Thank you very much. Very nicely done. Team 2, please go.
So we are the team 2, ma'am. Shweta
Okay.
is going to present from our side.
Shweta is
All right.
gonna do it, yes.
All right. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention कि Subhashi said we have only one slide, but वो one slide भी इतना बढ़िया था. I don't know what you used to get that creation of the slide, but it was beautifully done. Thank you for that.
Ma'am, we have someone who is a pro in ID, and we are very fortunate to have her in our group.
Absolutely.
And her name is Bhavna Goel.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well done, Bhavna. Very, very nicely done. I forgot to mention that. Extremely attractive visuals. Thank you.
ma'am.
Yes, you go ahead.
So these are extremely unattractive visuals. Just text. However,
That was quick.
I would still like to go ahead with these unattractive visuals. So, for the sake, for the benefit of everybody, the case study that we actually got was, of a manufacturing setup where employees completely forget to remember their compliance protocols. So one of our group members, Harish, is already working in a manufacturing unit, and he helped us a lot in understanding what they do, and we kind of got together to write down some bits. So he has, and the idea is, the requirement from the team was, the case study was, how to make our employees, how to make people remember these protocols easily. So the trainer task was to develop interactive simulations and storyboards. Of course, we couldn't go ahead and create storyboards like a true ID would, but the moment we started, I think the timer started ticking initially. But yes, we did try and brainstorm how we would do it, how we would increase the recall and understanding of these procedures, so that there is minimal safety violations in this case. So there's just one slide again, very not good looking slide, but here example is, Harish already works in this company called TVS Brakes manufacturing unit. So over to Harish now to actually tell us what they do, and we will pitch in from our team as to what we thought. Harish.
Super.
Thank you, ma'am. So I'm Harish from Brakes India. Actually, we are having the same problem in our company, Brakes India Private Limited, which is in Tamil Nadu. So in which regularly we are having small kind of safety incidents which is happening here and there. For that sake, our safety team and we people have finded the root cause. The people are actually getting trained in the training center when the orientation training is happening, and then after it is not replicating in the, reflecting in the shop floors. For that sake, we have created first a video for each and every department, like a different working model areas will be there. For that kind of particular area, we have created real-time videos in their local language, which will be very short in span. At the morning of every shift, they will have to undergo the video, and then after they will be going. And then in their shop floor also, there will be so visual boards which they have to do, which they should not. It will be like aligning to them to work. And then after weekly quiz, we'll have a supervisor instructed led video. For example, 10 minutes they have to be here. They will instruct what is in the video in real time for 10 minutes. Weekly quiz, this will also happen. So it will avoid the misassumption which is in the video. So those things will be eliminated. And then after, we are having also a system. If they are anything doing safety protocol, they are misleading. That means there are sensors which can easily identified by them, and it will be shows to the interactive manual which is in the supervisor's cabin. For 4 or 3 lines, there will be a sensor. It will be integrated with the supervisor. If anything wrong happens, means he'll stop the line by his place only, and then after he'll come, he'll rectify what is the incident he's done there, and he'll rectify it, and he'll also tell again what are the thing he done wrong, and he will correct it. So these are the steps we taken for avoiding this kind of issues in our shop floor, and it really helped them. So this is what from our side, and our team will support it a lot. Thank you, ma'am.
We have
Awesome,
added the
Harish.
last point in it, that tick boxes and self-check mechanism. It was the idea of the team, Shadab ji, Ruchi ji, and Shweta ji, that we can add like every step whenever they are changing, whenever they are putting on gloves, or whenever they are doing on the, that specific instrument use or process use, they will have the tick boxes, and every employee has to mention their name, their shift, and they have to tick that they have taken these precautions, then to move forward for another
Now,
step.
also one more thing. So while there are regular trainings, like, the weekly exercises, there would be regular trainings which can happen through external consultants who are specialists in, in this particular field. They can also show videos what can happen if you do not follow the protocols. So that is something which is a huge recall, because if I am told that अगर आप ये नहीं करेंगे तो आपके साथ क्या हो सकता है, that adds as a fear factor, or maybe that acts as a huge recall. So that is something that we also discussed. Anything
Okay.
else the team would like to
And
add?
yeah, ma'am, and one more thing, the drills also be discussed. Like they will have a regular drills so that they know what to do, where is the exit in terms of emergency. So that was all part of a storyboard.
Yes, the drill will be every week, and because the overall scenario says that the team members or the employees are unable to remember that one. So that's why we have done in such kind of, the presentation was in that way only, that with the team will be doing a kind of drill that will be on weekly basis, so that they remember each and everything always. That's not only for the team members, that will be for everyone, whosoever is working in that organization. So it was based on that only.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, lovely. My feedback. If I had marks to give you, I would give you 10 marks for teamwork. So much
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
respect for each other, not interrupting, and then making sure that you had Harish with you and you used his experience. First time I'm seeing a case study used for a case study. Beautiful. Excellently done. And I love that everybody wanted to pitch in. This is the way actually brief should happen for the cases, that everybody pitches in. कि किसी को ऐसे लगना नहीं चाहिए कि मेरा आइडिया रिप्रेजेंट नहीं हुआ. I love that everybody switched on the videos and everybody. Harish, I would have loved to see you too, and felt very nice, very cohesive effort. And what Shweta brought up right at the end just got to my mind. RTOs in many cities, they show commercial drivers a lot of accident videos, which are usually kept away from the public because they're so gory. And we normal people, if you've seen, whenever there is an accident on the road, the first thing they do is they wash off the blood and they make sure that if there are dead bodies, they are immediately removed. And if it is a crash involving people who are still in the vehicle, they cover it with tarpaulins. Reason being, it is impossible for an ordinary person to actually look at what happens. If those visuals were shown to people, I am sure these speed freaks would slow down a tad bit. But I'm not so sure about how much of a fear factor it is because the cigarette packet has itna bada, picture of cancer of the mouth and all, but I don't think it is much of a deterrent. So maybe the human mind is so capable of ignoring certain things and not looking at it. But अपना effort चालू रहना चाहिए as trainers. I think we should every type of motivation. So what you all did first was the positive motivation and then the negative motivation. I think that works wonders. Thank you, team two. Very, very nicely done. Team three. So
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
is for all of y'all. Team three.
Yes, ma'am. With team three, I'm just sharing the screen.
Yes.
Is that visible as a
Yes.
slideshow?
Yes, Aditi.
Yes. It's not full screen.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
it's okay.
yeah.
All right. So the case study which we have taken as team, it's upskilling the sales team on new product lines. Shreyas, Bhuvneshwari, Dhanlakshmi, and Sandeep are there with me. This is a case study that talks about sales representatives who are aware of a product, but then they are facing certain difficulties when the upscaling of that product takes place and it becomes a smart product. And now they are not understanding the technical specifications and they are not able to explain it to the customers what exactly the product is about because they themselves do not understand. So we are here to have a training that helps them understand this and even more than that, become aware that what is your expert level or what is your understanding level of this particular product. And they can have their own self-assessments also done after the training so that they themselves know where do they stand and how much they need to cover up. So what we had initially started was a pre-assessment test. Pre-assessment
Very
test
good.
will give us where do they stand currently, so we understand what's the gap. Communication skills we've taken because they need to communicate that to the customer as well. It's not enough that they are understanding and knowing the product, but how do they communicate and pass on the message to the customer is also very important. Then we'll be having a role play. A role play will show what exact scenario takes place between them and the customer, and the trainer would be able to come to know where the things are lacking. We'll also have the recordings of the sessions of the role play shown to the sales representative so that they exactly know this is what is happening and this is what shouldn't happen. After the training, what we'll do is post-training support in that visual charts. It's for memory recall. So visual chart is one that will use, infographics is one that will use, buddy system. Again, we would allot people who could help them to understand the product better if on the field they are facing any issues. and product comparison chart is one that we have thought of. This was from the presentation point of view. I would invite my team members to give their views on it, because we had a healthy discussion during the breakout room. So, Shreyas,
Hello.
Bhuvneshwari.
Yeah. Aditi has almost covered whatever we have discussed, madam. And this was all the thing. Like, finally, we wanted to, though it's a sales support, generally, we always have in our, particularly, I am in LIC. So, whenever there is a joint call, basically, though the agent is going along with him, the development officer is also going. And he'll be available. And if the agent is not able to explain certain things properly, he will pitch in. And that's how he learns, the agent learns. So I was thinking about this buddy system. Probably that will help so that the salesperson is not like left to lurch. What will happen if customer is asking some questions, how to answer? So that post system that we have given, and many like Sandeep has also given us mind mapping exercises also, though we were not able to exactly pinpoint what mind mapping exercise will do. That is all for recall of the understanding of the specifications. Dhanlakshmi madam has mentioned about the infographics and things that can be used for again post training mechanisms. And
Right.
Shreyas also has mentioned regarding you call pre-assessment. Basically that first whether it is required or not, that was a debate, basically because of this is an upskilling one. But then we all thought that upskilling, because it's upskilling, definitely a pre-assessment should be done to know exactly
Yes.
where their competencies are and what is their proficiency level. And thanks to Aditi, she was immediately able to put it everything into a nice PPT. Yeah.
Again,
There was one point I just thought of mentioning, that here the company wanted the push mechanism to go to the pull mechanism in terms of training, because here we want the sales representatives to be self-aware of their own perception or their own knowledge of that smart product. So it was more of the metacognition concept that they wanted
excellent.
the trainer to implement. So that was the main thing, more than the product training, we thought. That's all, ma'am, from our side.
Yes. Thank you. Again, excellent teamwork. Well represented by Aditi and Bhuvneshwari. Thank you so much. And I loved that you did a pre-test. Because the moment we do that, we get on the page where the participants are, where the trainees are, and your programs get crafted in such a way that you cater to their needs, right? So excellently done, excellent, very quickly put together PPT. And what I'm liking is it really does not matter about how huge your PPT is, how relevant it is. That's what matters. So, and even श्वेता ने जो बोला था, not a very good looking PPT. मेरे लिए सब PPT अच्छा ही दिखता है, right? I feel that if it conveys what it should, सब कुछ अच्छा है, right? All are good looking. Thank you so much. So this is for you, team 3. Team 4, let's go.
Thank you, madam, and thank you, team 3.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll just present.
Yes, Ashna. Actually, Ruchi Jain is saying that all the case studies are, I beg to differ. I don't think the case studies are awesome. I think the participants are superb. That's what making the difference. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yes, go
ma'am.
ahead.
All right, so I hope you can see our my screen.
Yes.
So ours was the onboarding software engineers. So in my team, we had Anuradha ma'am, Shah Alam, Soumya, Yatendra, Palani, and of course me. So this was the ask, a startup, and is onboarding junior software engineers who are overwhelmed by the volume of tools, coding standards, and project structures that they need to understand within their first month. So what we did was we added scaffolding, we made it, and based on that we created an entire 1 month program wherein we divided it week wise. So the first week we focused on orientation and fundamental on foundational understanding of tools, systems, workflows, and their mentor support. In the week 2 we help them shadowing, guided practice through code walkthroughs, peer programming, and small tasks using checklists. In this week onwards we start having the post and the pre-assessments. Then in the week 3 we give them independently to explore the code base, basic problem solving, and we extract some sort of support from them, and then we ask them to independently do the coding and all those things. And in the week 4, we give them an ownership, the entire thing, and ownership of a small feature, participation in code reviews, independent contribution with minimal supervision. So by the end of week 4, the person is independently able to deliver the codes and do everything on his own. So we also included kind of Bloom's taxonomy in here, where we made them understand, remember, understand. Then based on that, we help them analyze, evaluate, and eventually at the later stage at week 4, we help them create as a standalone thing. So in this, we also included post assessments, basic general evaluations on a very regular basis. So apart from that, anything Anuradha ma'am or Shah would like to add?
Hello, ma'am. Just to say that since they are already onboarded and there is a job which is being assigned, the task is that we have to deliver this program. So there is no choice. The role is already being fixed. The time is already being fixed. The first week is been dedicated for psychological safety and for including them all and making them understand that there would be a learning path. So there would be certain thing which is based on knowledge and there would be a certain learning which is based on skill. So the first week was basically given to make them the icebreaker thing or to settle down with the role. And then week wise we have divided the task so that the progression can be measured, evaluated, and then the method of learning technique like scaffolding and then kinesthetic and knowledge-based learning has been included. So there is a piece of knowledge and skill-based various intervention in form of PPT, in terms of lectures. So week wise the progression has been measured, and
Yes.
then finally we have the evaluation metrics, and then they can begin action, which is an independent one.
All right. That's it from team 4.
Yes. Anybody
I
else?
love the slide. I loved how gradually you have removed the scaffolding, and I love it when you explain that how it is done. And I love that you start with mentoring and you end with "Abhi chalo karke dikhao," and in a very structured manner. So I think who was the IT expert in this? Who's coming from the IT background over here? Or
I did.
Ashna is
That
the one.
too, ma'am, we thought we'll just, put it in the chat, but then I saw the first PPT. I was like, "Nahi, now we'll have PPT."
डरा
Appreciating
गए, डरा दिया
आज
आपको.
हाँ वो पहले 3 वाले केस स्टडीज में प्रेजेंटेशन में ये बनाया तो हमारे लिए भी सरप्राइज था ये कब आया.
Ma'am,
I
this
think
is
very nicely
always a
done.
benefit for the last teams, ma'am.
है ना? Learning
Yes,
curve
yes.
थोड़ा less steep रहता है. I
But
agree.
this is a
But I'm
beautiful
so
PPT.
happy that the learning is so quick. I'm very happy because visual impact matters.
Yeah.
I know we all know about death by PPT, but you can't completely do away with the PPT. जितना relevant information के लिए चाहिए, उतना it should be used. Let's not make it a crutch, but let's use it as a tool. It is very, very important. So thank you, Team 4. Very, very nicely analyzed. Thank you so much. You
Ma'am,
all are
what's the
going beyond the brief, and I'm liking that you all are putting different concepts together and experimenting. ये भी करेंगे और ये भी करेंगे. I'm loving that. I'm really liking that. So thank
what's
you
the
and
overall
for
rating?
you, Team 4. All right.
Ma'am, what's the overall rating?
I'm really not giving any rating to anybody, but excellent teamwork. And I'm finding that it's easier to work. Suppose everybody had turned up today, no, all 72, 75, 80, jo kuch bhi aate hain usually. It would have been a bit of a chaos. Getting to know each other would have been a problem. So sometimes faster and more agile teams are one which are slightly smaller. 20 minute में magic कर सकते हैं. If this was a 15-member team, तेरा मेरा करते करते ही 20 मिनट खत्म हो जाते थे. So maybe smaller teams are, more agile, and it's a known fact, of course. So thank you, Team 4. I would definitely rate you a 10 on 10, just like all the other teams before you. 100% 10 on 10. And let's have the last team, Team 5. Please go ahead.
Hi, ma'am.
Anju,
Yes.
you'll.
Anju,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, this is Anju from Team 5. So in my team, I have 2 people only. Krisha,
Yeah, I'm here.
Vignesh. Yeah, these 2 people were from my team, and no excuses, but due to technical glitch, my 10 minutes got wasted, and we were able to compile a few. So the presentation is not that great, but just I'll just share it. Give me one moment, please. Gosh. Allow me a moment, please. It's somehow not able to share. Hello?
Yes,
Uh,
Anju,
the
Oh, okay.
you are audible. You can continue.
No, the screen is visible or not?
Not
Or
yet.
I
Not
don't,
yet.
No,
I don't,
screen is not visible.
I don't know why it is not, but
You have to double click to enter full screen mode. Just double click on your screen.
I have done that. Today there is some technical issue in my laptop. I don't know what. So
Don't
could
worry.
I go ahead
Go ahead.
as it is without the screen? Is it okay?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, ma'am,
Send on chat, I'll share.
we had a case study where a logistic organization where mid management is struggling
Anju,
to make
screen is
consistent
visible.
strategic decisions. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. So this is the case study, the a part of logistic organization where mid management is having challenge. It's not showing.
Don't worry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
So
visible.
we collected a series of challenges what had happened in past,
Mm.
because obviously these were the repetitive things were happening, and we were able to identify what is the main concern area and created our training accordingly, and then we created the standard operating processes to take care of those problems, and followed by that 4 to 5 weekly objectives were set up and discussed regularly to check the status where we are and how we are handling them with the guide under guidance of a senior leadership team member who can actually pitch in, because it's a mid management, and obviously we can't expect them to have that strategic mindset, so we requested for one mentor. We also picked up some quick fix solutions for generic cases which are not creating, if even if decision is not correct, it's not creating a very big impact. So for those we are working on some quick fix issues and we are providing solutions. Apart from that, we were also providing a few set of questions to the people who are actually working in those particular situation. If there is any very panic situation come, so what question they should ask themselves, that whatever decision they are taking, is it how it's going to impact them in long term as well. So taking into that consideration, we were preparing a list of few questions so that people can ask deep dive and check what will be the right call to take at that point in time. And we'll also take ideas from the other industries, what best practices they are following, and we'll try to implement them uh, in this scenario. Thank you so much. I know it was not that great, but
No.
this is
It
what
was
we
much
should have been
appreciated.
done.
That's it?
Yes, ma'am. That's it. Thank you.
Excellent. Very, very nicely done, considering that it was a very small team. Even then, excellent output. I love the storyboarding idea. I'm actually terribly partial to storyboarding. Okay. I'm currently using mood boards and vision boards and trying them out. And I'm very partial to storyboards because storyboards originated with, it's like a graphic novel. So it originated in advertising and filmmaking. So
Mhm.
I love that concept because now I can adapt it to training, and I'm doing mood boards. You can read up on that, and vision boards. And I'm trying to create more boards, and it's beautifully put. I like that you used it. Another thing that I loved is, which I'm very partial to, the last suggestion about best practices. I'm a huge fan of best practices because it's better than FAQs. Because
Mhm.
now
Yeah.
who all faced a similar situation and what did they do when they face that situation. And this requires a lot of market information system. So your MIS should be very strong. कि industry level पे क्या हो रहा है. So I think and Anju, full marks to you personally
Thank
for
you, ma'am.
staying logged in and
Thank
not
you.
giving up. Whether it
Thank
was
you,
in
ma'am.
the
And I was so nervous because I asked Krisha who is going to present. We haven't done much. She says you present. I says okay, and I was honestly I was very very a
no.
kind of
I am so appreciative. Excellently done. Well
thank
supported by Vignesh and who's your other team member you said?
Krisha. Thank you, Krisha.
Krisha. All right, Krisha. Thank you so much. And one pointer to everybody who is in any field, right?
Hmm.
Never ever start a presentation with an apology.
Hmm.
A speech, any public speaking.
Yep.
Never start. Anju, you said it's not mud. Never say that about your own material. You should be 100% sold on your. We have a saying in Marathi that says that I wore old clothes and I sold gold and nobody came to me. And then I wore gold and I sold rags and the crowd wouldn't go. So, it matters how sold you are on the idea of your presentation. So, zero apologies, right? This is a lesson for all of us. Never ever, whether it is in terms of timing, don't start with an apology. Whether it is in terms of preparation, don't start with an apology. Just start. Bull in a china shop. Jo bole so nihal, sastri akal. Just enter into the bloody thing and rock and rule the whole place, right? So no apologies ever. And thank you so much, Team 5. This is for you. In spite of everything, very, very competent presentation. Loved the points that you all have come up with. I loved that everybody leveraged the experts who were in your group, whether it was from IT, whether it was from man. I appreciated Harish giving an example from his industry and then, using it like a case study. And, Ashna talking about onboarding engineers because she was very much aware of how it was being done. I love it when people remember, um, number one, you are the presentation, not the PPT. And number two, greatest learning happens in peer groups, not from textbooks, not from study material. It's your peer group which has its tentacles all over the place who will enrich the entire class. And I think you all proved it that when I put you into a team, I'm going to get superlative results, right? So that brings us to the end of not only today's session,
Ma'am,
but also.
ma'am, I want to
Ma'am,
add something. We'll have a doubt session with you. I'm sure about it. Maybe
No,
next
this is
next week.
the
Gurvinder, if
doubt
I'm not
session.
wrong,
No, ma'am,
now
this
is
is
the time.
yes, ma'am.
Now is the time for doubt session.
Ma'am, we would like to see the mood boards and the vision boards, how we prepare, like maybe one there, if you have.
Can I just give me one moment? I don't know. I generally don't keep it with me, but if it is, where did I put it?
Ma'am, exactly. We need to know that how this creative motivation comes in, हर बार एक नया idea लेके storyboard या concept board बनाने का.
I'll give it to you. One sec. Huh? I'm just sending it to Gurvinder. Gurvinder, I've sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay,
Just a
ma'am.
few examples.
Ma'am,
Huh.
ma'am, actually, I drop off again in between. I wanted to, if you can give me, I mean, what was the feedback? Because it dropped off and I logged in again.
Oh, Anju, I just said that you all did a fantastic job and full marks to you for remaining logged in spite of the challenges, bandwidth hoga, ya, being thrown out of the meeting or whatever. But you persevered, and I said, don't say sorry at the beginning of the session. That's what I
Okay.
was telling everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Right. I've sent it to Gurvinder. I hope he
Just
can
sharing,
share
ma'am.
it. Sharing.
Ma'am, can I add on? Krisha this side. Thank you, Anju, for presenting in spite of having so many technical glitches.
Okay. Appreciated,
Thank
no?
you so much, Krisha. Thank you very much.
I have seen that sometimes आपका अगर knowledge थोड़ा कम पड़ जाए, लेकिन passion है, passion makes up for that.
Yeah.
Because none of us are God, right? If we knew everything, कभी कभी अपन को लगता है अपन ही भगवान है. We are not. So I think being trainers from multiple disciplines, we must acknowledge that sometimes we don't know it all. Why sometimes? Many times we don't know it all. But if you can make up for that with your sheer passion to get across your meaning, it works wonders. This is just few photographs from the session that I conducted in mood boards, and this was a um, self-efficacy session where people were having to express themselves, and these were their. We had something called a iceberg session also, where like an iceberg, there is only a part of you that, like, let's say भावना के बारे में मैं अभी क्या जानती हूँ. Bhavana's attended 10 of my sessions, so how much do I know about her? So I know only the top of the iceberg, but there is a lot to Bhavna, right? So many times what we don't see about people, I wanted them to make a chart paper on that. So just take a look at it. This is by undergrad students, and some of the photographs that I shared with Gurvinder. And if you want, you can look up how mood boards are made. It's more to do with a color that you identify with, people that you love, who are your role models. And always remember that who we are, we, what do you say? We project it onto others, right? So if you say, I love Amitabh Bachchan, there are certain qualities that you have that resonate in Amitabh Bachchan. So many times when somebody asks you, na, training में हम लोग पूछते हैं ना, which is the animal that you identify with? So I generally say that I identify with the elephant. So then obviously you say that why the elephant? Because I always feel that um, however big the elephant is, छोटी छोटी चीजों का ध्यान रखता है. He can pick up a pin with his trunk. So something that is, it's like using a giant machinery to conduct a very delicate operation. And he is able to put that control in place, that even though he has the energy to crush the jungle, he is able to pick up a small element from the ground without disturbing it, right? So I feel that whenever we select, which animal do you like, which role model do you think, which politician, we always try to resonate with what they are, right? So, and that is one of the reasons why you should ask people कि आपका role model कौन है. If you've seen, I have quoted Subrata Bakchi almost 3 times in my session, 10 sessions, right? So what it means is I see a little bit of myself in that and say, this is what I want to be. Right? So mood boards are basically about expression. And whenever you turn expression into a kinesthetic activity, like उनको chart paper दिया, उनको collages बनाने का material दे दिया, sketch pens दे दिए, glue दे दिया, sellotapes दे दिया. So what they do is they take this material and they convert it into something completely different. I never expected. One team gave me something also in 3D. It had a 3D effect while presenting. And when you're doing physical classes, it comes out so well, because then you have one-to-one interaction where you can express what you're saying. So I've just shared some of the boards that I have tried out.
Ma'am,
Any other question?
these are vision boards, no? All of these?
Some of them are mood boards. The one which has a lot of color in it, that's a mood board. Very minimalistic approach. And they've used collage. They've used role play. They've used role models. They've used quotations to express their team. Usually mood board should be done for individuals. But because I had 60, 70 people sitting in the classroom, I had to do it team-wise. It's very difficult to have a brand for a team. But then I did branding, self-assessment, everything through this. And it came out quite well when you give them the right materials to do it. If you don't want to do all this and you want to do it online, you can use Canva. If you don't have a physical session, you can tell them, get together in the room and Canva pe bana sakte ho with all suggestions from everybody. And with today AI, if you give suggestions, अच्छा सा poster बन के भी आता है.
Ma'am, you can use Miro boards. Miro boards are really good in terms of this kind of work. They don't even need to use Canva. They can just simply go to Miro boards.
MYRO?
MIRO.
MIR. Miro boards. Okay. I'll look it up. Thank you. Thank you, Shweta. Any other question? Yeah, I think we are done. End of 10 sessions. Thank you so much for being such a brilliant audience, and absolute pleasure to share uh, what little knowledge I have with you and learn so much from all of you. And all the best for your exams. Do well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you, madam.